Sure. You can kind of, pick whichever stat you want to look at tonight, but what impressed you the most about your team's win?
I thought collectively we were all on the same page as we enter week 2. I thought there was great symmetry in what we're trying to accomplish on both ends of the floor. Lamar obviously plays really fast and has some sort of full court pressure at all times. That kind of changes a lot of different things, but I thought we were very unselfish. It looks a lot prettier, obviously, when H and CJ make threes at the rate they did. I thought 4 shot the right balls from 3 as well. Zoo's a little better. I anticipate he'll have a great impact on our team. I didn't think he was great again tonight, but I do think the reps, he's had 2 practices in 2 games since he's gotten cleared. So, pleased in many respects for sure.
Was it your 350th win? What does that mean for you, mean for the program, mean for everybody involved?
Yeah, thanks for asking. I didn't say anything. I mean, I was aware, but yeah, blessed and living a dream way bigger than any that I ever thought. And, like anybody else, probably even like you and your business, you grow up wanting to do it and then you get in it and you don't necessarily have the appropriate paradigm. And, just the trajectory of how this has all played out, I feel incredibly blessed. But like any coach would say, because of the volatility of what the business has become, just to still have a job is one thing, but a lot of credit to hundreds of players. And then Friday night, I didn't say anything about it then either, but Friday night, I gave Josh his commemorative watch for his 10th year with us. That's 6 watches that Corey and I have bought as we enter year 18 of 6 staff members that have worked at least a decade. And so the loyalty and the continuity of the staff, no matter where we've lived, along with the talent and the character of the players, I feel incredibly blessed.
Do you feel like this is a more confident shooting team?
The one thing that I would say, Travis, and we're still trying to sort through the groupings, like I said, with Zoo, the priority was to play him more tonight just to accumulate reps. I told Mo and H that after shoot around, hey, I'm going to let Zoo play some of your minutes, and I'm going to let CJ play some of your minutes, not because you've done anything wrong, but I think we can play a lot of different groupings, and I think we've got to continue to ascertain, what does the game need and what is the best grouping of what we have. Zoo still needs the accumulation. This is all brand new to him. He did practice a little bit. I think it was 6 practices before he went out. So he's behind. He's smart. He's old. He understands. But when you play a game, no matter who you're playing, the rate that it's happening, I don't think he's quite there. I think CJ has a skill set that gives us something much more consistent than we've had in a while. But there's a variety. Well, what does Mo do best? What does H do best? What does CJ do best? And I think we're still trying to figure that out. I think Henry, through 3 games, analytically has been as good as he has been since he's been here. And I think that that's propped up the ability to let Gochi play some extended minutes. We're still trying to figure him out. And I don't think any of this, Travis, is excuse written. It's just kind of the truth. We've played 3 games in 8 days with a real player getting cleared after game 1. And so I thought Andy was the best he had been. I have some thoughts on why that was what it was. I thought Solo being able to play the forward and the big guard spot and facilitate back and forth without having to sub out, I think that'll be impactful. So yeah, I'm encouraged.
Coach, obviously 2 straight games early in the season. Is there anything you've learned over the last, week or so about your team that you didn't already know?
Yeah, so this is probably too much information. We keep track of the lessons that we learn, and just because it's still early in the season, that it's a constant reminder by me, and the most vocal guys in the group on our team are doing a great job of not only vocalizing it, but trying to execute it. And so going into tonight's game, if you count from the University of Houston exhibition through tonight, there were 6 major lessons that we have practiced, we have used stats to prove, and we have watched clips to learn from. And I do think the absorption rate of those 6 lessons, even since Friday, we did a week 1 diagnosis on Saturday. We worked yesterday a full day. I think we were even better today than we were on Friday relative to those 6 lessons. The 6th lesson came about yesterday, so it was technically 5 real ones. But even the 6th one today, I thought later in the second half, we were able to apply it some. And so there's a lot on our plate moving forward. I think one of the things that we have to do is we can't just wait to game day to execute those lessons. We need to be able to do those on every work day that we have. 2 games last week, 2 games this week, but only 1 game the following week, and then 3 games the last week, and then fly home however many hours with the time change and play Wake Forest. So there's a lot coming our way, and so we can't just wait until the games to learn the lessons. And I think the games do provide opportunities to learn from, but you have to build on those lessons on practices just as much as games.
Andy came in, first 5 minutes, had 10 points, hit the 2 threes. Just how much does it open it up to the rest of the floor and the other guys when he's doing that offensively?
You guys, you probably know this. The administration a couple of years ago was kind enough to figure out a way that we could invest in the NOAA software. And every kid processes screens differently, numbers differently. The one thing that I would say that I've learned from Andy, he doesn't necessarily articulate it maybe as smoothly as you would think, but he's really bright. And how he processes rebounding is very savant-ish. And even though English is not his native language, like he has really bought into the NOAA. It's all facial recognition. And so there's cameras throughout the gym. And only a few schools throughout the country, a small percentage of schools throughout the country at this level have it. Every NBA organization does. But you can track it every day, how many shots you shoot. Did you miss right? Did you miss left? What was the arc on the shot? It'll talk to you if you like it like that. Where did you shoot it from? And he is a much more confident shooter than he has ever been because of the work that he's put in. Our staff has been very consistent in those shots with him. And I think he can shoot. I think it's like any player. We want to shoot what we call predictable shots. And those shots that he shot tonight were Andy predictable. Some of the shots that Four shoots, predictable is loosely said. But the shots that Andy's going to shoot from 3, they need to be predictable. That short clock play over here in front of Gep, that solo shot, late clock is out of bounds. Really good, predictable shot by Solo. I think those guys that are working to make it part of their game, we call it shooting with buzz shots because it's the shots that I would shoot, and those are the shots I shoot with them when I shoot with them. And Andy and Solo have improved in that regard.
Seems like you guys have picked up the pace a little bit. Maybe, I don't want to say more aggressive, but maybe more assertive.
Yeah, Zoo makes it appear that way for sure. I think it almost sometimes looks as though he's on roller skates. He's just so fast. I think some of it has to do with the style of play that Lamar played last night. And just from a transition volume rate, all three of our games, I think, have been maybe faster than any first three games. Is some of it us? Yes. I think some of it is 2 out of the 3 opponents want to play fast.
To Zurich, you've talked about how he's not even great yet, what he's capable of. The guys have talked about, they see this from him in practice every day, so they're not surprised. But he did lead in scoring tonight.
I know. I think he led on Friday night too, didn't he?
Yeah, so what is his ceiling if he's not playing great right now?
Well, I don't think he's going to play with a high turnover rate. He did the 2 games he's played. He missed 4 free throws on Friday. I don't think he'll miss 4 until Christmas. That's my opinion. He missed 1 of those 4 tonight. If this is on Twitter, you get 3 more, Zoo. I think not only does he impact our team, Donna, but what I think will eventually transpire is he's going to make the game easier for the other 4 guys on the floor. And I don't think he's quite predictable yet in what I was saying to Carter. And that's one of 2 or 3 times tonight, that's what I was explaining to him. Like, hey, I know you're fast, but like the first shot he shot in the second half was over there, lane line extended, and it was kind of blocked. And I'm like, what are you doing? And it's just happening so fast. But I do think that he has a very high ceiling, and he is a very good on-the-ball defender, and I think that changes our team as well. So I don't think he's even close to his ceiling yet.
What have you seen from the versatility of the offense, whether that's through the paint, like in the first couple games, or from 3-point range tonight? What have you seen from the different ways that y'all can score?
Yeah, I think it's the variety of groupings that we can play with relative to what does the game need. I did a poor job at Central Florida. Zoo didn't play. That's a part of it. It was Solo's first game. That was maybe a little bit of an excuse. Pharrell fouled out in 22 minutes. That's for sure part of it. I think Andy played 21 or 22 minutes and fouled out. That was a little bit of it. But I don't know that those last 6 or 8 minutes, you're up 8 points with 8 minutes to play, or up 9 with 8 minutes to play, up 7 coming out of the last ATO. I think that's one of the 6 lessons on how do we want to finish the game. I know when you're winning by a large margin, sometimes, let's let C-Mac play, let's let J. Lee play, and they're deserving of playing. But from a foundational standpoint, like as a coach, you're just like, no, keep playing really good so that I can have a bowl of cereal tonight and wake up tomorrow and feel really good that we played the whole game well. And we were at about, I think going into tonight's game, we had defensive rebounded 77% of our opponents' balls, and we were like at that same rate until 4 minutes left to go. And it just gets a little wonky. But I do think that we have the ability when everybody's at their best and there's not an injury and there's not foul trouble, and that's also a part of real-time decisions. But I thought tonight it was the best glimpse of those choices.